Okay, good morning friends. Yesterday we have solved how to find out the resultant when two vectors are subtending an angle theta. And some boys, they have asked me the question, what is the use of learning vectors? Today you will appreciate the importance of vectors when we solve the numerical problem. You know, velocity, force, acceleration, displacement, these are all vectors. So you cannot just add vectors like the scalars are added. We cannot just add them. So there is a particular method of vector addition. We have learned triangular method as well as parallelogram method. Now let us solve a problem so that you will understand the meaning of vector addition and finding the direction of resultant vector. Now let us see, there is a problem, a numerical problem. Two forces 5 Newton and 10 Newton, 5 Newton and 10 Newton, they are acting at an angle of inclination 120 degree between them. They are acting at an angle of 120 degree between them on a body. What is the angle that resultant makes with 5 Newton force? So look at the problem once again. There are two forces, 5 Newton force I have drawn like this and 10 Newton force I have drawn like this, because the angle between them, angle of inclination between the forces is 120 degree. If that is so, what is the angle the resultant makes with 5 Newton force? What is the angle the resultant makes with 5 Newton force? So we have to construct the forces, force vectors, and we have to construct a parallelogram. 5 Newton force, 10 Newton force. These are two sides of a parallelogram. Then draw parallel vector F2 like this and parallel vector F1 like this in the same direction. That constitutes a parallelogram. Then we can find out the resultant by joining the diagonal. See here, F1 is like this, so parallel vector F1 is also like this. F2 is in this direction, so parallel vector F2 is also in the same direction. So you see both the heads of F1 and F2 are meeting here. So join this from the point of origin to the point where all the heads meet. So that gives us resultant vector. So we are asked to find out what is the angle subtended by this resultant vector. By this resultant vector, let us say that resultant vector as just F with 5 Newton force. So let us see what we have learned yesterday. If A and B are the two vectors which are subtending an angle of theta between them, then we constructed a parallelogram using parallelogram law of vectors. The diagonal OS becomes the resultant. That becomes vector R equal to vector A plus vector B. And then we found out the resultant of the vector R. Magnitude of vector R. Resultant of vector R is equal to, it is denoted by modulus. Modulus of vector R represents magnitude of R. Magnitude of R is equal to square root of A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. That's what we have found out yesterday. And the angle subtended by the resultant vector with vector A, we have taken it as alpha. And alpha can be found out using this relation which we got it yesterday. Tan alpha equal to B sin theta divided by A plus B cos theta. So this is the result what we got yesterday. Both are the results we have derived yesterday. Here, point to be noted is that vector R is making an angle alpha with vector A. That should be very carefully noted down. The alpha is the angle made by vector R with the vector A. we are going to make use. Now look here. Compared to this diagram, when you compare with this diagram, vector A is equivalent to vector F1. Vector A is equivalent to vector F1. Vector A is equal to vector F1. Vector B is equivalent to vector F2. Then, what are the values of A and B? Look here. 5 Newton, that is of F1. 10 Newton, that is of F2. Then we can write the equation for tan alpha. Tan alpha equal to B sin theta divided by A plus B cos theta. Same equation what we have used yesterday. So using the same equation, B sin theta divided by A plus B cos theta. So B is F2 here. So it becomes F2 sin theta divided by F1 plus F2 cos theta. F2 sin theta divided by F1 plus F2 cos theta. Okay. The theta angle between the vectors F1 and F2 is 120 degree. So these are the given things. F1 equal to 5 Newton, F2 equal to 10 Newton, theta is equal to 120 degree. Let us find out sin 120 degree first. Sin 120 degree is equal to sin 180 minus 60 degree. 180 minus 60 degree. So 180 minus 60 is 120. So this is in the second quadrant. So in second quadrant sin is positive. So 180 minus 120. Okay, 180 minus 60. So that becomes sin 60. Sin 180 minus theta is sin theta. So sin 60 is equal to root 3 by 2, which is positive. Similarly, cos 120. Cos 120 can be written as cos 180 minus 60. Cos 180 minus 60. Again, it is in the second quadrant. In the second quadrant, cos takes negative value. These are the things I think you have studied in trigonometry. You are going to study again in mathematics. Okay. Cos 120 is equal to cos 180 minus 60. That is minus cos 60. Minus cos 60. Cos 60 is 1 by 2. Therefore, it becomes minus 1 by 2. We are going to make use of these values in this above equation. Therefore, I am going to write now. I have written tan alpha equal to F2 sin 120. F2 sin 120 divided by F1 plus F2 cos 120. F1 is this. F1 plus F2 cos 120. So substitute the values of F1 and F2. 10 sin 60 divided by 5 plus 10 into cos 120 is minus cos 60. So minus cos 60. Just write it minus cos 60. So substituting the values of sin 60 and cos 60, we get 10 root 3 by 2. Sin 60 is root 3 by 2. 10 root 3 by 2 divided by 5. I am taking this minus outside. 5 minus 10 into cos 60 is 1 by 2. So 10 into 1 by 2. 2 ones are 2 5s are. So 5 minus 5 becomes 0. So that's what the next step. Tan alpha is equal to 5 root 3 divided by 0. Anything divided by 0, any number divided by 0 gives us infinity. So tan alpha becomes infinity. For which angle tan takes infinity? So obviously it is 90 degree. Therefore tan inverse of infinity is 90 degree. Therefore tan 90 is infinity. Therefore alpha is equal to tan inverse of infinity. That becomes 90 degree. Therefore the resultant vector f, which you have drawn graphically here, the resultant vector f makes 90 degree with the vector f1. Resultant vector f makes 90 degree with the force 5 Newton. So this is how we can solve the problem of finding the direction. Next one is, what is the resultant force? That question is not there here, but we can find out what is the resultant of F1 and F2. What is the resultant of 5 Newton and 10 Newton acting at 120 degree angle, acting at 120 degree between them. So it is neither 10 nor 5, not even 10 plus 5, 15. It is not 15. Although we have done vectorially as vector f is equal to vector f1 plus vector f2. Vector f is equal to vector f1 plus vector f2. But it doesn't mean that 10 plus 5. Why? Because we have solved here. Magnitude of vector f when they make an angle theta between them is given by vector magnitude of f equal to square root of f1 square f2 square plus 2 f1 f2 cos theta. Same equation which we have derived yesterday. Square root of f1 square plus f2 square plus 2 f1 f2 cos theta. So substituting the values of f1 f2 and the angle theta 120 degree. So f1 is 5, f2 is 10. So 5 square plus 10 square plus 2 into 5 into 10 into cos 120. So 25, 10 square is 100, 2 5 are 10, 10 into 10. So cos 120 we have already found. Cos 120 is minus cos 60, that is minus 1 by 2. Minus cos 60 is minus 1 by 2. So 2 ones are 2 5s. So you are left with 10 into 5 with negative sign. So let me take out that negative sign outside. When you take out that negative sign outside, you are left with 50 here. 10 5s are 50. And 100 plus 25 becomes 125. So square root of 125 minus 50 becomes 75. So square root of 75. 75 can be written as 25 3. 25 into 3. 25 3s are 75. So square root of 25 is 5. So we can take it out. So finally magnitude of resultant vector f, magnitude of f becomes 5 root 3, that is 5 into 1.714. So square root of 3 is 1.71. So if you multiply, we get the resultant force is of the magnitude 8.55 Newton. You can understand now. So if two vectors are acting, one in this direction, another one in this direction, one with 5 Newton, another one with 10 Newton, with an angle of 120 degree between them, the resultant force acting on this body is 8.55 Newton, and it is directed at an angle of 90 degree with 5 Newton force. That's how we describe a vector. We describe a vector by its magnitude and its direction. So if it is making an angle of 90 degree with f1, how much is the angle made by that same resultant with f2? See here, this is total angle 120 degree. 120 minus 90 becomes 30. So with f2 it makes an angle of 30 degree. With f1 it makes an angle of 90 degree. This is the meaning of describing a vector, where force is a vector. Okay. Now in the same way we are going to solve one more numerical problem. Now let us see the second problem. This is again problem of rain. Yesterday we have solved a problem of rain. Yesterday's problem, if you recall, rain was falling vertically downwards with some 35 meter per second, and wind started blowing from east to west. Wind started blowing from east to west. A boy standing on the platform near a bus stop is holding an umbrella. In which direction should he hold his umbrella in order to protect himself from rain? So we have solved that problem and we got the answer 19 degree with respect to the vertical line. We got the answer 19 degree. 19 degree with respect to vertical line holding towards east. Means when rain is falling vertically downwards and wind is blowing from east to west, then he has to hold his umbrella in the direction of resultant vector. Remember, he has to hold his umbrella in the direction of resultant vector of the rain and resultant vector of rain and wind speed. So that's how we got the result yesterday. Now let us see similar problem. Here it is a little different. Here rain is falling vertically downward with a speed of 30 meter per second. It is falling down with a speed of 30 meter per second. A woman is riding bicycle with a speed of 10 meter per second in the north to south direction. She is riding bicycle in the north to south direction. Let us say this is north direction and this is south direction. Rain is falling vertically downwards and she is riding her bicycle in the north to south. She is moving towards south with 10 meter per second speed. What is the direction in which she should hold her umbrella now? If she is having umbrella in her hand, in what direction she should hold? This is the question. Now you see, observe this problem carefully. Here rain is falling down vertically with a velocity 30 meter per second and she is riding bicycle with a speed of the cycle 10 meter per second. So two things are in motion, two objects are in motion. Whenever two objects are in motion, then we have to understand that we have to apply the concept of relative motion. Whenever two objects, two vehicles, two things are in motion, then we have to apply the concept of relative motion. So she has to hold her umbrella in the direction of relative velocity of rain with respect to her moving bicycle. Relative velocity of rain with respect to her motion. Relative velocity of rain with respect to her speed. That's it. Now let us see. I have drawn the diagram of velocity of rain in this direction and velocity of cyclist towards south. Now I have written once again velocity of rain VR vector equal to 30 meter per second. Velocity of bicycle, velocity of cyclist, let us say VC vector equal to 10 meter per second towards south. She should hold, then she should hold her umbrella. She should hold her umbrella against the direction of relative velocity of rain with respect to bicycle. I told you both are in motion, therefore we have to calculate relative velocity. So by definition, what is relative velocity? We have learned in the previous topic. VRC, relative velocity of rain with respect to bicycle. VRC vector is equal to VR minus VC vector. VR vector minus VC vector. So see the diagram now. This is positive VC 10 meter per second. I have to construct minus VC now. So exactly in the opposite direction of the same magnitude I have drawn in the exact opposite direction, that becomes minus VC vector. So this is VR vector, this is minus VC vector. Now I have to do vector subtraction, minus VC vector. Therefore construct a rectangle by the method of parallelogram. Construct a parallelogram. Now it becomes rectangle, parallel vector. You draw parallel vector of VR, parallel vector of minus VC. So thus it becomes a rectangle. Then join from the point of origin or from the point of coincident vectors to the point where all the arrows meet, to the point where all the heads meet. So this becomes the direction of VRC. This becomes the direction of relative velocity of rain with respect to cyclist. Relative velocity of rain with respect to cycle motion. VRC. VRC equal to VR vector minus VC vector. VR vector minus VC vector. Now, of course, in the question it is asked to find out only the direction. So direction can be very easily obtained from this triangle, right angle triangle. So this is the angle with respect to the vertical line. She should hold her umbrella. If you think that this is the umbrella, she should hold her umbrella in this direction. Or if you have taken this one as a reference, she should hold her umbrella in this direction to protect herself from the relative velocity of rain with respect to cyclist. So what is that angle? This angle is same as this angle, theta. So tan theta equal to opposite divided by adjacent. Opposite is minus 10, adjacent is 30. So whether it is minus 10 or plus 10, we want to find out the angle. Therefore we are taking magnitude. Modulus value. Modulus of minus 10 becomes plus 10. So 10 divided by 30, 0 cancels, it becomes 1 by 3. So 1 by 3 becomes 0.333. So tan inverse of 0.333, if you find out from the table, we are going to get theta equal to 18 degree. It means tan 18 degree is equal to 0.33. Like tan 45 is equal to 1, tan 18 degree is equal to 0.33. Therefore, tan inverse of 0.333 is equal to 18 degree. So she should hold her umbrella at an angle of 18 degree with respect to vertical line towards south. She should hold her umbrella at an angle of 18 degree with respect to vertical line towards south. That becomes the direction of the relative velocity of rain with respect to cyclist. Suppose you want to find out the magnitude. It's very simple. Magnitude of a vector as we have applied the previous problem. VR square plus VC square minus 2VR VC cos 90, because the angle between the given vectors is 90 degree. So directly you can use Pythagoras theorem. So this hypotenuse we want to find out. So square of the hypotenuse is equal to sum of the squares of the remaining two sides. So we can directly use that. If you use the law of cosines, we get VR square plus 2 VR square plus VC square minus 2 VR VC cos 90. Cos 90 is 0. So this entire term becomes 0. So you are left with square root of VR square plus VC square. Square root of VR square plus VC square becomes square root of 300 square plus 10 square. 300 square is 900, 10 square is 100. 900 plus 100 becomes 1000. So square root of 1000 can be written as square root of 100 into 10. So that becomes 10 root 10. So if you substitute the value of root 10 is found out to be 3.16. Root 10 value is 3.16. So it becomes 10 into 3.16. That is 31.6 meter per second. That is the meaning of relative velocity of ray with respect to cyclist. Means the cyclist, the woman who is riding the bicycle, experiences relative velocity of ray of the value of 31.6 meter per second, although it is falling down with 30 meter per second. It's quite common experience. If you are riding a bike, if you are on the bike, if it is drizzling, you will feel that the water drops are hitting you with more speed. It is because of relative velocity. Bike is also in motion, rain is also in vertical downward motion. So we will be experiencing the relative velocity of rain with respect to the motion of the bike. So this is how we have to solve the problems whenever two objects are in motion. We have to make use of the concept of relative velocity. Okay. Now let us solve one more problem. Okay, let us see the next problem. Third problem. What is the angle between two forces? 2 Newton and 3 Newton. There are two forces, 2 Newton and 3 Newton. They are acting on one particular object. They are having the resultant 4 Newton force. 2 Newton and 3 Newton, these are the two forces, are acting on one particular object. So the resultant force is given. Resultant force is 4 Newton force. If this is the case, what is the angle between these 2 Newton force and 3 Newton force? What is the angle between 2 Newton force and 3 Newton force? So let me take vector F1 as 3 Newton, vector F2 as 2 Newton. Even you can take vector F1 as 2 Newton, vector F2 as 3 Newton, no problem. So vector F1 equal to 3 Newton, vector F2 equal to 2 Newton, and the resultant F, which is obtained by constructing a parallelogram. By constructing a parallelogram, we get a resultant. The resultant force F is equal to vector F1 plus vector F2, as we have studied earlier. So these are the given things. Here, vector F1 is equal to vector F1 equal to 3 Newton, vector F2 equal to 2 Newton. Resultant force is 4 Newton. Then what is the angle between given vectors 3 Newton and 2 Newton force? What is theta? So we make use of law of cosines again. Resultant force, square of resultant force is equal to F1 square plus F2 square plus 2 F1 F2 cos theta. F1 square plus F2 square plus 2 F1 F2 cos theta. And substituting the values of F1 F2 we get, and substituting the value of 4 F equal to 4 square plus 3 square plus 2 square plus 2 into 3 into 2. Just I am substituting these values. 2 into 3 into 2 cos theta. We don't know that angle theta which we want to find out. So 4 square becomes 16, 9 square, 3 square becomes 9, 2 square becomes 4. So 9 plus 4 becomes 13. So I am taking this 13 to the left hand side. So 16 minus 13 becomes 3. You are left here with 2 3s are 6, 6 2s are 12. 12 cos theta. So this is the simplification. So 16 minus 13 becomes 3. So next cos theta becomes equal to 3 by 12. Cos theta is equal to 3 by 12. These 3 ones are 3 4s are. So thus it becomes 1 by 4. 1 by 4 is 0.25. So cos inverse of 0.25 gives us the angle theta. So angle theta is equal to cos inverse of 0.25. If you refer from the table, we get theta value to be equal to 75.5 degree. Means the angle between these vectors F1 and F2, this angle theta is 75.5. This is how we find out the angle between the two vectors if the vectors are given 2 Newton and 3 Newton and the resultant force is given. We can find out the angle. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. My mobile number I am writing here, 974 97 236 86. Already I had given, but once again I am giving you. So some of boys are asking the doubts. It's good. Whether you understand or even if you do not understand, please ask me. This is my WhatsApp number also. You can put the question, whether it is printed or written, you type it and send it. Even if it is printed also, you can send it. I will help you. Thank you. Good day.